All right. Is this thing on? This thing is on 8:41 a.m. Sunday, the 20th of July. Hey, we're almost in August. Uh, this, sharing is caring, so I thought we'll just pull some random shit up and share. All right. Assuming my web setup allows it. Just had some problems yesterday. All right. Hello, Mr. One, Miss One, Mrs. One, whoever the one is. I have a viewer. Okay. All right. Let's share something. Ivana haunts Donald.
Donald Trump's first wife, Ivana, died in 2022. Allegedly, she fell down steps at her New York apartment. She was then buried in one of the kind of back lot areas.
I always thought that was weird. Let me see. 3 of his kids are from her, right? What do they think about that? I guess if my dad murdered my mom, I'd be pretty fucked up in the head too.
Right. Of Donald Trump's golf course in New Jersey, Bedminster, which entitled Donald Trump to get tax breaks as a result of turning the golf course into a cemetery.
Oh, it's a tax scam. Okay. I thought that was weird. Burying an ex-wife on your golf course. That's weird. Okay, it's a tax break. I get it. This is how the rich and shameless do things.
As Donald Trump's dark past is being revealed, we need to take a look at the circumstances surrounding Donald Trump's divorce with Ivana, the death of Ivana, Ivana's relationship with Ghislaine Maxwell, how Ghislaine and Jeffrey Epstein.
There's 5 of you in the chat now. Can you hear what I'm presenting? I want to make sure I didn't screw up the audio. Yeah. Or no one's talking yet. All right. If you can't hear what I'm sharing, let me know.
Hired some of the same staff as Ivana. And we need to also look into the allegations by Ivana that Donald Trump sexually assaulted her during their marriage.
Oh, shit. I forgot about that. That's right. She claimed rape and then she retracted that claim. I hear you fine, but can you hear Mr. Messless, Midas Touch?
Marriage and ripped out her hair. Donald Trump and Ivana eventually had a legal proceeding against each other where Ivana, I guess, kind of issued a retraction.
The hater's going to hate, I suppose. Well, I don't know if he's reporting anything you can debunk. I'd love to hear
it. On these statements that she made where she says she was sexually assaulted by Donald Trump. I'm going to read for you that as well. You probably have never heard a lot of these facts before, so let me break it all down because this is certainly haunting Donald Trump right now. So Donald Trump and Ivana, again, Trump's first wife, they were married from about 1977 to 1990. Donald Trump then had an affair with Marla.
Let me see. I became aware of the Donald, as we called him, in 85 or 86. And even then, us in New York, we knew he was a dirtbag. We didn't know anything about his wife.
Marla Maples, actress and model. Donald Trump and Marla would go on to have a daughter together, Tiffany. And there was a interaction between Ivana and Marla Maples where they ran into each other that blew up into a massive fight. And then there was
cat fight. I bet that fed Donald's ego.
A very well-known divorce between Donald Trump and Ivana. Donald Trump was then with Marla for a few years, and then right after that were kind of the prime years that Donald Trump and Epstein were best of friends.
Is there any doubt by now that Donald and Epstein were best of friends for a long time? I don't know. I think the whole fucking world knows it now. What I haven't heard in a long time, back when Epstein first was murdered by Donald Trump's thugs, we heard a lot of accusations about Bill Clinton. I haven't heard Bill Clinton mention all of this. You would think if there was anything anything, if there was anything in any of the evidence that the DOJ and the FBI have on Epstein, on his lists, on his contacts, on his clients, anything pointing to Bill Clinton, that would have been released. Interesting that it has not been, but let's continue.
And Epstein was using Mar-a-Lago as one of the staging grounds where he would find underage girls like Virginia Giuffre, bring Virginia Giuffre and these underage girls to Epstein's place in Palm Beach, right down the block, and sex traffic them. So why don't we start here? This is Ivana's final resting place right here. The Daily Mail ran an exclusive.
It's just fucking weird. A golf course, not like part of the home. I'm in Virginia. We see a lot of old former plantations and former mansions that they have a little corner plot for family members. This is just one person on a huge golf course. This is weird. President Trump threw Jeffrey out of his house and life before he was convicted the first time. He was perving on a young girl who was a summer help. Yeah, Jeffrey and Donald played a little game where they cucked each other. And after Donald, Jeffrey asked Donald to advise him on a property he was looking at buying. And so Donald went with him. He said, "Ooh, this is a good property." And he overbid him. He bought the house out from under Epstein, and they had a bit of a falling out at that point. And then they started playing these little bitch games on each other, like throwing each other out of each other's houses. Yeah, that was before he was convicted the first time, early 2000s. He was convicted, 2005, when he got the little slap on the wrist, 12 hours a day in prison, and only a year and a half for these horrible crimes. The guy who coordinated that later became his Secretary of Treasury. That property that Donald's bought, he sold during the downturn, 2007, 2008, when nobody was able to sell properties for anywhere near their value. He sold that same property for 10 times its value. 10 times its value to a Russian oligarch who was also going through some marital problems. And later on, that Russian oligarch bulldozed it and resold it at a loss. This is how Donald makes money. It's called slushing. They've tried to tear him down forever, and lives a very open life and well documented, and they still have nothing. Actually, they have a lot. It's just that he's very powerful. He buys people off, like the person he paid to kill Ivana. The person he didn't go into the prison himself and kill Epstein. He had somebody do that for him. Strong ties to the mafia. Yeah. So yeah, things that are right there and obvious to people. Judges, cops, FBI, people are paid off. Hitmen. I'm listening. Who did he pay? Shit. If I knew that, I'd be doing something else for a living. But it's very open and clear and obvious. The deniers just want to stick their heads in the sand and deny it. I mean, it's obvious. Okay. Did Bill Clinton have access to the federal prison system in 2019? No. But again, we haven't heard his name in a long time because that's bullshit. I'm denying it, but listening. Okay. I did the mansion thing, the prison thing. Everyone's talking about 1 minute, and then it evolved into 3 minutes. I have a video posted a couple weeks ago. I had AI help me out. There's a little white blip that in the last 40 minutes keep showing up in the top right-hand corner. I took a screenshot of it, and I asked AI what it was, and it couldn't really tell just from the screenshot of the white blip. But it thought that the AI considered maybe some kind of menu tools from some kind of application. It was guessing a video game at the little screenshot when it was just the white blip area. So it asked if I had more context or a bigger picture. So I widened the scope and immediately, okay, that's the Epstein prison. and it went further into the white blip. Okay, that is editing software. Editing software. And the first white blip shows up around 11:20 p.m. and the last white blip is around 11:58 p.m. and 11:58 in several seconds. So at midnight, there's no more there's no more editing to the software to the video, and so my speculation is he died just before midnight on the 18th, and they pretended to find his body on the 19th. Remember, he was on suicide watch. How does someone die for over 8 hours while on suicide watch and it's not noticed till like 8-9 o'clock in the morning? But yeah, I remember when that happened, everyone was saying Clinton did it. Added to the Clinton casualty list. Because again, yeah, you call him Teflon Don. Think about all the crimes they've accused Clintons of. Surely the way the Red Hat MAGAs go after Clinton, if Donald had anything on Clinton, you'd have at least heard him rumor it, like Epstein. When Epstein, not Epstein. I get these idiots all confused. Musk. When Musk broke up with Trump, when he left the White House, he dropped a little bomb on X, claiming that Trump is in the files. You would see something like that from Trump about Clinton if there was anything there. But okay, here we have a person buried on a recreational golf course. In the shady part of it, not shady, but I'm not meaning shade as in leaves are getting. I mean, it's just unkept before she's buried there. Yeah, tax breaks. That's what this is all about.
Back in August 2023, Ivana Trump's cordoned-off grave is barely visible in a completely overgrown area of Trump's 506-acre Bedminster.
Overgrown. That's the word I was looking for. Not shady. Overgrown.
New Jersey golf course. Very grim, very ghoulish.
Yeah.
And just think about, again, just who does that to a family member? I mean, how horrible.
Donald has a country to run, not get back at people. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. You haven't been paying attention the last 6 months? He's been getting back at people. He's going after his political enemies every chance he can get. Hey, $10 billion. You know what the biggest lawsuit settlement in history was? The that company that did electronics for voting. I can't remember what they're called. The voting I can't remember what it's called, but Fox News spread lies about them for a couple years, and they had a huge world record setting lawsuit, and that was the record. If this $10 billion $10 billion thing, a Wall Street Journal reported the truth. Somebody said this card was from Donald Trump. They didn't say this card's from Donald Trump. They said it's reported to them that this card is from Donald Trump, and the card is a hand drawing of a naked woman with Donald signed where what would be pubic hair, and he's going after Murdoch and the Wall Street Journal and some other entities in that area for $10 billion. He doesn't have time to get back at people. Apparently he does. Okay, continuing.
Stuff, even for the perspective.
That's fake news spread by the Dems. The Wall Street Journal is a conservative newspaper owned by the same guy who did Fox News and Sky News. News Corp. News Corp. All right.
Of her kids. As I said, Ivana was from Czechoslovakia. Yeah. Again, she was married to Trump from about 1977 to 1990. She died on July 14th, 2022, of blunt impact injuries to the torso, allegedly resulting from an accidental fall down the stairs in her
Dominion voting system. Thank you, Dominion. That's what it was. There's two of them, but Dominion was the big one. Okay.
Manhattan apartment. There was a book that came out.
Okay, cool. Cool. Oh, broken system, broken trust. You're not here to spread lies about Rabbit, are you? Good morning to you too, sir. But we're taking care of that Monday. That's some bullshit. If you think you know something, that isn't known by the cops, tell the cops. Stop coming all over YouTube and spreading that shit when you really don't fucking know. Okay. For anybody out there who doesn't know what I'm talking about, Broken System, Broken Trust, and a few others, namely, well, I won't say names, but his initials are Sean Porter, are going around YouTube spreading innuendo and lies about Benghazi Rabbit over the tragic loss of his wife. And no, I'm not going to see you Monday. I'm going to see Sean on Monday. Get the fuck out of here. Where aren't you out west somewhere? I'm in Alexandria, Virginia. He's in Hagerstown, Maryland. It's a very short drive. Are you coming? Are you going to be there? I don't know. Fuck you. All right. Anyway, back to the news that matters.
In right around 92, 93. Here's the book right here. It's called The Lost Tycoon, The Many Lives of Donald J. Trump. And you see on the front cover, Ivana and Marla Maples.
You work at the Navy Yard. Which Navy Yard? In D.C., down in Southeast D.C. Right. Oh, okay, cool. That area has been gentrified, man. I remember when I first came to this area, and I went to on M Street. That would be M Street Southeast. Okay, yeah, not M Street Northwest. There's some interesting stuff along that too. Before you get to the Georgetown area, there's a okay. M Street Southeast around the Navy Yard. When I first came here in '98, I'm a Navy veteran and an Army veteran, and I found out there was a refurbished destroyer that was made into a museum ship at the Navy Yard. So I checked it out, and boy, I've been to some shady parts of the world. I was pretty nervous driving through that part of town, getting to that ship. And I went a couple times later because it was so similar to my ship. I just had to show other people. But every time I drove through that part of town into the Navy Yard, I was, white knuckling it. I was a little nervous. I went back. Well, they got rid of that museum ship. I went back a couple 5-6 years ago. I'm like, holy shit! This is a upscale, rich, fancy place now. Yeah, it's just changed 180 degrees. Pretty amazing. Although I don't know who can afford to live in that area now. Before, who wanted to live in that area. Now it's who can afford to live in that area. Okay, E.N. Cope Dog. We are somewhat neighbors, I take it. All right.
There was a chapter where Ivana talks about being sexually assaulted by Donald Trump. Let me share with you how Ivana described it to the author, and then the statement of Ivana thereafter. Ivana Trump has been relaxing in the master bedroom of the Trump Tower triplex, thinking about the trip she will be going to take to Tahiti.
I want to go to Tahiti. Okay, let's continue.
The trip will...
Obviously, they moved the ship. The new bridge is too low. Now the Navy has sold their Riverwalk. Oh, okay. That ship was pretty cool. From the main deck down, it was almost identical to my ship, the Cunningham. My ship was an Adams-class destroyer, and apparently they used the same hull structure. From the main deck up, there were some. Well, on the main level, there were some differences, and on the superstructure, a lot of differences. The big difference below the decks, being a sonar tech, I observed this. We had a ANSQR Pair 23 sonar system, which a dual dome system, and sonar control was under what we called the supply berthing area, where the cooks and the supply types slept. Sonar control was under that. And on this ship that was in DC was, I'm sorry, I'm in two channels, Shadow Finkel and just Finkel. And one is just Finkel, just Finkel, is usually the one I'm getting more people in. So if you're in one and you're not seeing the other people chat, it's probably the other. If you're to find the other one, if you hit your Google search, I can pull it up right here, can I? Remember where I'm at, 406. Okay. Some of you might be in Shadow Finkel, which is this one at Dave in Shadows. And the other one Not that there's a lot of you. There's only 6 of you. The other one is Finkel, which is at David Finkel 1A. The bigger channel is the Finkel one. Shadow Finkel is actually what I call a burner channel because, it's shadow banned. That's the name, Shadow Finkel, and I'm experimenting with.
Ivana talks about being sexually assaulted by Donald Trump.
I did not say talk, Ben. I did not say talk. I'm explaining my channels here. Shut up when I'm talking. When I'm interrupting. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Finkel's my main channel. Finkel's where I started a couple years back doing 1A type stuff. Not really a First Amendment auditor. I'm more of the gray ship. Yeah. Well, Navy ships are gray, aren't they? Okay. Yeah. Now you're in the other channel. Radical Coder. How are you? Check out Radical. Well, I'm sorry. If you're a red MAGA hat wearer, you probably don't want to watch Radical Coder unless you're interested in being educated. But if you're a moderate or liberal or complete full leftard like I am, you'd probably find Radical Coder very interesting. He's got some good stuff there. He also panels on other channels. But welcome, Radical Coder. Gray, my dad joke for the day. Okay, Hayes Gray and underway. I'm curious, are you a Navy veteran too, or you just worked at the Navy Yards? I subbed yesterday when everyone was yelling at each other. Oh my God. Actually, they weren't yelling on this channel. I was replaying something from what was the channel, Vigilance Committee, Cliff's channel. And yeah, when you heard everyone yelling at each other, that's the whole thing that I mentioned when Broken System, Broken Trust was in the chat. I think he's gone now. He's trying to stir the pot, and I'm just not having that today. Today I'm taking a break from all that YouTube drama about Rabbit did this and Lion did that, and Sean, full of shit, sticking his finger up his ass, is doing the other thing. I'm taking a break from that. We're going to have a discussion about that tomorrow. Today's Sunday. It's the weekend, man. Weekends are made for making fun of Trump. So let's. I'm Army. Okay, yeah, I did Army. Okay, long story short, I experienced some trauma in the Navy. 1987, May 17th, 1987, the Persian Gulf. We were the rescue assistance detail on the Stark, and I found it very hard to sleep in a berthing compartment after that. So when it was time to either re-enlist or get the fuck out, I got the fuck out and went to the Army recruiter and did 10 years in the Army infantry after that. So yeah, I was 11. Well, I enlisted as 11 Bravo in the Army, and we transitioned to 11 Mike at Fort Polk, 89, 90. And then, yeah. Hooah. Okay. Translation for any Marines out there. What he's saying is the same thing as ugh. But soldiers can enunciate hooah much better than Marines because they make a grunting noise. Ugh. One time we were attached to the Marines when we were in Panama. We pulled guard on their ammo supply point, and we had fallen into formation to chow and COB and first formation and all that. And I couldn't understand their fucking commands. We very clearly enunciate left, face, forward, march. They say, I'm like, what the fuck are you saying? English, motherfuckers, do you speak it? Nope, they don't. But I'm glad to report that while we were attached to the Marine unit at the ASP, they did not make us eat any crayons. No crayons at all. Okay, but I'm going to continue.
Let me share with you how Ivana described it to the author, and then the statement of Ivana thereafter. Ivana Trump has been relaxing in the master bedroom of the Trump Tower triplex, thinking about the trip she will be going to take to Tahiti. The trip will not be just for a vacation. It has to do with the Donald's business. Laura Edis, the widow of the late Trump gaming division executive Mark Edis, will be going with her. Ivana has been hoping the trip will help them get over the tragedy of the helicopter crash.
The tragedy of the helicopter crash. I guess the lady that Ivana's going with her husband. I don't know anything about this helicopter crash. In fact, I didn't even know these details. I just remember the headlines that Ivana's accusing Trump of rape, and then later on she retracted that. I never got into the details back in those days. The sound comes from an American Indian who was trying to say hello, and the military guys got a kick out of it and liked his drive and dedication, and it's been passed down. Oh. I did not know that until 9:06 a.m. Eastern Time on the 20th of July, 2025. Now I know. I just thought Marines couldn't enunciate. Okay. All right. So they're mocking a Native American. Okay. All right. We're going to talk to these Marines about it. You guys know Stone Vet? He's a former Marine. Maybe. Oh, wow. Wow, that is interesting. They're mocking somebody. Okay. Last military tidbit: the last Civil War widow died in 2020. That's another one. I did not know that. All I really know about the Marines is that they eat crayons and they cannot enunciate. And I know a little bit about Army history and Navy history. I went to the static display in. It's not a mock; it's a tribute. Oh, okay. See, sometimes we don't. Marines and soldiers, we just don't speak the same language. One man's tribute is another man's mocking. Actually, we see that on YouTube all the time. I'll say something in chat, trying to clown around, and people misunderstand it. They get all angry. All right, and I've done it too. Actually, I thought Ian Cope Dog when he first came, and I thought he was trying to push my buttons. But I see now, I just wasn't speaking the same language. I'm speaking talk to mic and he's speaking fingers to keyboard. And sometimes there is a loss in translation. So that means left face, and they're tributing a Native American. Okay. All right. Wow. But I digress. I'm gonna push play.
Suddenly, according to
Ian, okay, I'm getting sidetracked again. If you're a military history buff or a history buff like I am, well, you know, in DC we got lots and lots of museums, but outside of DC, about on a good traffic day, about 45 minutes south of DC, you have the Marine Corps Museum at Quantico, and closer to DC, just outside of Alexandria, here outside of Fort Belvoir. We don't agree on much, but I'm not trying to push your buttons. Okay, there is a Army Museum. Now, I've been to both, and yes, I have to admit the Marine Corps Museum's a much better display. But the Army Museum, it's a little bit newer. They haven't had as many years to build it up, but both are really wonderful experiences. Both have gift shops, and both have MRE samples you can purchase. I purchased an MRE at the Army Museum. It was like ham slice and cheese spread and crackers, some of the stuff that I remembered from my time in. And then me and my sweetie went to the Marine Corps Museum, and I bought an MRE there too. I said, you got to check this out, because I wanted to brag on some of the MRE preserved food, and open it up, and a bunch of damn crayons fell out. All right. All right. I'm going to push play.
Ivana, the Donald storms into her room. He is looking very angry, and he is cursing out loud. Your fucking doctor has ruined me, he screams. The Donald flings Ivana down onto the bed. Then he pins back her arms and grabs her by the hair. The part of her head he is grabbing corresponds to the spot on his head where the scalp reduction operation has been done.
Oh, because we've been making fun of Donald's hair for years. Okay, if I'm understanding that, okay, he had a male eagle problem with hair falling out. So Ivana apparently recommended a doctor to stop that, and it didn't work out. The motherfucker still balds, and he still does the comb overs, and he got pissed off that it's not working out, and he blamed it on his wife. I didn't know that detail. Well, 9:10 a.m. on the 20th of July, I now know that detail. At least I've heard it somewhere. I don't know that. I look at the Marine Museum often in traffic on 95. Yeah, that 95, it can change. What could be a 45-minute drive could suddenly turn into 2 hours. But you know that. I'm actually saying that for the other folks who aren't in the Beltway area. It's funny. My sweetie and I used to go to a Nancock out in the Eastern Shore very regularly. She since sold that house, but we're in a 12-step program, and we were at one of the 12-step program meetings in a Nancock, and someone was sharing. We don't see you often. Where are you coming from? And we told him, inside the Beltway, and he went back. Oh yeah, I remember. I used to live out in Reston, and I worked at the Pentagon, and I would take a bus every day. It was like 20 minutes, and me and Holly just kind of looked at 20 minutes. Man, you are showing your age if you got from Reston to the Pentagon in 20 minutes by any means. That's not going to happen today. That's probably an hour and a half commute in average traffic. All right, let's continue. Okay, so I'm getting that Donald is blaming Ivana for the failed hair transplant. So he's pulling her out and decides to, while he's at it, since he hasn't had an affectionate relationship with her for several months, he's going to go ahead and knock that out too. Okay, this is what I call a pig.
The Donald starts ripping out Ivana's hair by the handful, as if he is trying to make her feel the same kind of pain that he is feeling. Ivana starts crying and screaming. The entire bed is being covered with strands of her golden locks. But the Donald is not finished. He rips off her clothes and unzips his pants. Then he jams his penis inside her for the first time in more than 16 months. Ivana is terrified.
Oh, God.
This is not lovemaking. This is not romantic sex. It is a violent assault. She later describes what the Donald is doing to her in no uncertain terms. According to the version she repeats to some of her closest confidants.
Okay, this is about saying something. I'm going to book out. Oh, okay. I can watch something else. Of course, it's caring is sharing. Sharing is caring. So I'm probably going to share something politically similar. Would you rather I change something else, or do you want to get going? It is Sunday, and people have barbecues and churches and what have you. It's most people's weekend. Yeah, no, I get it. Let's. No, I'm good. Okay, I'm going to continue with Ben then. Have a good day, Ian, and nice meeting a neighbor. Howdy ho, neighbor. We know. All right, I'm going to push play again.
He raped me. When the Donald finally pulls out, Ivana jumps up from the bed. Then she runs upstairs to her mother's room. She locks the door and stays there crying for the rest of the night. The next morning, Ivana musters up the courage to return to the master bedroom. The Donald is there waiting for her. He leaves no doubt that he knows exactly what he did to her the night before. As she looks in horror, as the ripped out hair is scattered all over the bed, he glares at her and asks with a menacing casualness, "Does it hurt?" Now it says on April 7th, 1993, when the first printing of Lost Tycoon was awaiting shipment, the public.
That is disgusting. I'm with N Cope Dog. I don't need more of this. Okay, we know Donald Trump is a pig. We get it. Okay. The way I walk, ICE now detaining American citizens. That looks AI-ish. I don't trust fully AI stuff. Oh, this guy's good. Keith Edwards. Let's see what Keith has to say. Oh,
James Tallarico, a Democrat.
Actually, I think I have to stop that screen. Stop screen and repost it. Oh, that's a good idea. Watch some. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. His base is falling apart. Let's search Trump's base rebels. No. What's that? Oh shit. Hey guys, I have to go. It's Sunday here too. I will be on later. Cheerio. I'm sorry for the abrupt something just came up upstairs. Y'all be groovy. All right.
Are you mad? Are you bothered? Just a little? You seem mad.